Gurudev Abendprogram Koin 27 German book. Sakala Sahane Baladia Korum Nitamane Spihahina Sakala Sahane Baladia Korum Nitamane Spihahina Kipabendodya Koro Edasen Trina Beksayante Nagude Kipabendodya Koro Edasen Trina Beksayante Sakale Samana Korite Sankoti Dehonata Chantotata Tapitoga Ibo Harinama Sungke Tapitoga Ibo Aparadham Behata Gurudev Kipabendodya Koro Edasan Tinapexayante Na Gurudev Kipabendodya Koro Edasan Tinapexayante Kabeheno Kipam Lopia Etano Kitata Hoi Benata Sankti Potina Amiyati Dina Koromare Atmasata Gurudev Kipabendodiyam Koro Edasen Tinapexayante Na Gurudev Kipabendodiyam Yokatavitsarim Kitsunahi Paim Tomara Karuna Sara Karunana Hoile Kandiya Kandiya Prananarakebo Ara Gurudev Kipabendodiyam Koro Edasen Tinapexayante Na Gurudev Kipabendodiyam Koro Edasen Tinapexayante Jai Gurundeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurundeva Jaya Gurundeva Jaya Gurundeva Jaya Gurundeva Jaya Gurundeva
Ups, da ist die Nase dran. Kripa Koro Vaishnava Thakura. Kripa Koro Vaishnava Thakura. Samanda Janiya Bhajite Bhajite Abhimana Odora. Kripa Koro Vaishnava Thakura. Amito Vaishnavai Buddhi Aile Amanina Voami. Pratisasasi Hridaya Dosibe. Aivo Nirayagami. Kripa Koro Vaishnava Thakura. Tamara Kinkaro Apane Janivo Guru Avimanatyari. Tamara Chista Parajalareno. Saranishkapate Bhaji. Kripa Koro Vaishnava Thakura. Nitya Shrestha Jane Utisadi Dane Abhe Abhimana Bhara. Jai Shishya Tava Takya Savara. Naraiva Pucha Koro. Kripa Koro Vaishnava Thakura. Amani Manada Hare Kirtane Adhikaro Divetumi. Tamara Charane Nishkapate Ame. Kaniya Doti Bobo Me. Kripa Koro Vaishnava Thakura. Sambandha Janiya Bhajite Bhajite Abhimana Odora. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Vaishnava Thakur, Jaya Vaishnava Thakur. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur.
Na gut. Hast du morgen noch einen Auftritt? Page 87. English. HHKB Goranitai. 87 im Englischen. English One. Ja. HHKB Goranitai. HHKB Goranitai. Akabe Goranitai. Akabe Goranitai. Epatita jane Uru kripa kori Dekari beduti bai. Epatita jane Uru kripa kori Dekari beduti bai. Ahakabe Goranitai. Ahakabe Du kripa bole Navati padame Dikibo Vrajira Shoka. Do kripa bole Navati padame Dikibo Vrajira Shoka. Ananda Sukkara Kunja Manohara Sukkara Kunja Manohara Eribonayana Lopa. Eribonayana Lopa. Akabe Goranitai. Kabe Goranitai. Taharanikate Srila Lita Kunda Ratnavedi Kato Shata. Taharanikate Srila Lita Kunda Ratnavedi Kato Shata. Yata Rata Krishna Lila Bestariya. Krishna Lila Bestariya Viharena Avirata. Lene Ahakabe Goranitai. Ahakabe Goranitai. Saki Ganayata Lila Lasaya Nana Seva Sukha Pai. Saki Ganayata Lila Lasaya Nana Seva Sukha Pai. Edasitataya Sakira Agyate Sitaya Sakiragyate kayeti otidai kayeti otidai Akabe Gauranitai Akabe Gauranitai Malatira Mala Gatia Anibo Dibotabe Sakti Kore Malatira Mala Gatia Anibo Dibotabe Sakti Kore Rata Krishna Gale Saki Paraibe Rata Krishna Gale Saki Paraibe Nachibo Ananda Bore Sakibo Ananda Bore Akabe Gauranitai Akabe Gauranitai Epatita Jane Olo Kripa Kori Tita Jane Olo Kripa Kori Dekadi Beduti Bai Dekadi Beduti Bai Akabe Gauranitai Akabe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Kannst du jetzt, oder?
Oh, das ist ja, Paradasi, das ist eine gute Idee. Wollte ich eigentlich, ja. Jetzt habe ich verloren. Und 17, nein. 117. 15. Oh ja, 115. Paryadasi Kori Lalita Sundari Amare Loila Kabe Kori Sundari Amare Loila Kabe Shri Radhika Pade Kale Malaibe Agya Seva Samarpibe Agya Seva Samarpibe Paryadasi Kori Lalita Sundari Amare Loila Kabe Paryadasi Dari Shri Rupa Manjari Ananga Jaivo Shirupa manjari sange jibo kabe rasa seva shikatare. Manjari sange jibo kabe shikatare. Tatanuga hoye ratha kundatate. Rahibo harsi tantare, rahibo harsi palyada sikori, lalita sundari, amar loi akabe. Dari Shri Vashika Pade Sangita Sikhibo Krishna Lila Rasamoya Sangita Sikhibo Samoya Shirati Manjari Shri Rasa Manjari Oi besab sadoya, oi besab e palyada sinkori, lalita sundari, amar loi akabe, hori. Lalita Sundari Paramananda Sakala Milia Radhika Charane Ravo Paramananda Sakala Milia Ravo E Parakas Sitki kabe kabe Paborat kapada sava Paborat kasapa savo Alyada sikori Lalita sundari Amar loi lakabe Alyada Dari Amare Loilakare Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Radhe Radhe
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, no. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Taka Taka Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol, 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 Nittai Gaura Haribol. Haribol, Nittai Gaura Haribol. Nittai Gaura Premanande Hare Hare Haribol. Jai Shri. Om Gyanatimirandasya Kyananjana Salakayam Chaksunmritangena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Gurave Goratannaya Ratikai Tadare Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tatabhaktayo Namo Namah. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Pima Padaite Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratashi Namam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansana Gorangi Radhe Pinnavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutti Devi Panamami Haripim Bhaktya Vihina Aparadalakshay Ksibdasya Kamadi Tarangamatte Kipamaitang Saranang Papana Prinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Yang Pavachantamana Petana Peta Kachang Tvaipayano Viharakatara Atuhavam Potteti Tanmataya Taravo Vinedus Tang Savavutaridayang Munimanatosmi Vancha Kalpaturubhyassa Kipasin Upaivatam Patitanam Pavanepyo Vaishnavepyo Namo Namah. So we are continuing reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, text number 65. If you have any questions, you can ask. We don't have that many Bhagavatams. You can find it on internet though, if you want to, or you just listen. No problem. And, Tena Bodo Asya Tadrisham Rajan Tenasya Tadrisham Rajan Tenasya Tadrisham Rajan Linginaha Deha Sambhavam Lingino Deha Sambhavam Lingino Deha Sambhavam Shraddhatsva Ananubhutaha Shraddhatsvananubhutorto Shraddhatsvananubhutorto Na Manaha Sprashtum Arhati Na Manach Sprashtum Arhati Na Manach Sprashtum Arhati. Translation. Therefore, my dear king, the living entity who has a subtle mental covering develops all kinds of thoughts and images because of his previous body. Take this from me as certain. There is no possibility of concocting anything mentally without having perceived it in the previous body. Okay, what is the topic here? The topic is that the king Prachina Bhaishat, he was asking Narada Muni one question. The question is, he says, how is it that we can get in our next life reactions from this life, or that this life actually is a reaction to our previous life. Because we do one activity here, but the result may come in another body, a next life. So how is that? Something which is done with this body, how can there be a reaction in another body in the next life? That was the question of King Prachina Bhaishat, like that. Like, for example, if I am doing something, I will get a reaction in another body, like Dinabandhu, he will not get reaction. Because that was the doubt. So Narada Muni, he is answering that question by explaining this subject matter of the subtle and the gross body. Subtle body, just to repeat that, we had last time, subtle body means mind, intelligence, and the ego, false ego in this world. That is, they call it the mental body, which is not perceivable by the senses. And the gross body is composed of earth, water, air, ether, and fire. These in gross, they call the gross elements because they are perceivable by the senses. Yeah. How they are perceivable? Earth is perceivable by taste. The water is perceivable. No, earth is perceivable by smell. Water is perceivable by taste. Fire is perceivable by form, by the eyes. Air is perceivable by touch, sense of touch. And ether is perceivable by sound, because sound is carried by ether. Okay. So in this way, the gross elements, they are perceivable. But the subtle elements, they are not perceivable with the senses. Yeah. So sometimes the doubt is there. Or many people, they believe after this life, everything is finished. When this body dies, everything is finished. There is nothing that remains. So in the same way, King Prajnapaisat, he is wondering, if I'm dying, then why should anything remain? If the body decomposes, why should something be carried to the next life? So but Narada Muni explains that actually the subtle body is not destroyed at the time of death. Subtle body actually is carried by the living entity to the next body. Or another way, the subtle body is carrying the living entity to its next destination, to put it like that. So what is the proof of that? Well, first of all, we see that anything which is done with the gross body, it is actually done first by the mind, by the subtle body. One has this idea, I am this and that, this belongs to me, this is mine, and so on. And by this identification and desire, thinking, feeling, and willing, which is the functions of the mind, then we start acting with the gross body. So actually the action is done by the subtle body first. Only the gross body is the instrument. Yeah. So and therefore also, if something is done with the gross body, the impression stays in the mind. After even that activity is finished, the reactions in the subtle body are not finished. Yeah. Das heißt, the impressions of our previous deeds, they are still there in our mind, and they are carried along. So it works in both ways. Our mental constitution has influence on the gross body, just like Srila Prabhupada gave this example. If we are angry, it may be expressed through the eyes. Burning someone with one's glance. Or it may be expressed through the tongue. Shouting, screaming, and cursing, and like that. Or anger may be what? No. Expressed by the arm, by the hand. Or anger may also be expressed through the legs. kicking, stamping on the ground. So the senses, they express the condition of the mind. Do the ears also express anger? Only comic movies, then you start steaming out of the ear, out of the nose. Anyhow, so but the condition of the mental body is expressed by the gross body. In the same way, the activities of the gross body, they leave impressions in the subtle body. Like that. And therefore, what we experience in this life, we have somehow experienced before. Either in this life in our gross body, or in our previous life in our gross body. Like example is given here in Bhagavatam. Sometimes we may see in a dream things which we have never seen before in this life. Somehow some images, some impressions come up. And like, for example, we may fly in our dream. We have not been flying in this life, perhaps. But still in my dream I can fly, I can dream that I'm flying around. Have you ever dreamed that you are flying around? Many people are dreaming. I also, especially when I was a child. Many times I was dreaming like I'm flying around over my kindergarten, so. But where is this coming from? It is coming from impressions from previous life. Small children, they're also dreaming. They have not experienced anything in this life, but they are also dreaming. And what are they dreaming? And they are dreaming all impressions from their previous life. Like that. So in that way, actually in this shloka, the Narada Muni says, whatever comes from our mind, whatever comes from our intelligence, we have experienced before. And this is definitely and for certain. Nothing is coming on its own from our minds. We may think, I have this idea, I'm unique, I'm having my own philosophy, but we should understand we never have our own philosophy. Whatever we heard, whatever we experienced, whatever we read or have been taught, and that is what we are now thinking that is us. But actually it is not coming from us. It is simply the result of our previous impressions that we had, either in this life or either in previous lives. So in the same way, the activities which we are performing now in this body, they are carried, they create impressions in our mind, and they are carried to our next body. How this saying, how was that before? Saw one activity, saw one thought, and reap one activity. Saw one activity and reap a habit. Saw one habit and reap your character. And saw your character and reap your destiny. Like that. So it works like that. So therefore, the subtle body is not destroyed when the gross body is destroyed, but we're taking it into our next life, and then we are continuing. That's why we see many people, they are from birth, they may be very poetic, or they may be very expert musicians, or they may be very philosophical, or they may be very religious, like that. So it is a great science, therefore it is very important. Actually, it's not so important what will happen to our gross body. Because gross body is very temporary. It stays with us for some time and then it disappears. Much more important is what happens to our subtle body. That is important. Means how we, what kind of impressions we develop, what kind of character we develop, that is essential, that is important, because this will be carrying us to our next life. And this is therefore very important. So we read the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Krishna Bhayamukka Hoya Bhogavansakare Nikatasta Mayatare Chapatiyadhare. Prema Vivata is explained that actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the supreme enjoyer. When a living entity wants to imitate him, he is given a chance to satisfy his false desire, to lord it over the material nature. That is the beginning of his downfall. And that explains how we end up in this world. Krishna Bhayamukkhaya means we're turning away from Krishna. We don't want to serve Krishna. We are thinking we want to enjoy separate from Krishna. Bhogavansakare. Bhogavansa means desire for enjoyment. Nikatasta Mayatare. Then we come close to Maya. It's like Krishna's on one side, Maya's on the other side. Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Hoya Andhakar. Krishna is like the sun and Maya is like darkness. Maya, you understand Maya? Illusion. This material illusion. So Maya is like darkness and Krishna is like the sun. Can the sun and darkness exist at the same time? No, they cannot be together in the same place. Wherever Krishna, there is no Maya. Wherever there is Maya, there is no Krishna. So therefore, if we turn away from Krishna, automatically we turn towards Maya, the material illusion. And then we fall down into this material existence. As long as we are in this material atmosphere, we have a subtle vehicle in the form of the mind, which is a stockpile of all kinds of material desires. Yeah, we are like, the soul is covered by these two bodies. They are like two like coatings of the soul, or like two vehicles that carry us. Gross vehicle and the subtle vehicle. Such desires become manifest in different bodily forms. Narada Muni requests the king to accept this fact from him because Narada is the authority. The conclusion is that the mind is the storehouse of our past desires, and we have this present body due to our past desires. Similarly, whatever we desire in this present body will be expressed in a future body. Thus, the mind is the source of different kinds of bodies. We want to marry, or something like that. This is our desire, so we start looking for matching male or female. And then we are getting into marriage relationship. Then we develop all kinds of mentality and desires, other desires, and character due to our association in our married life. Or like that. We have desire to enjoy some certain kind of thing. So we try to meet association where we can fulfill our desire. Then this association again will form us, and we will develop certain kind of nature, certain kind of character. Let's say, according to our desire, we go in this world from one body to the next. According to our desire, but also according to our karma. Because if you have good desires, you are rewarded by the law of karma. If you have bad desires, you are punished by the law of nature. If you harm other living entities, you are punished. If you do good for other living entities, you are rewarded. Such is the law in this world. So both things are going on. Living entities, they want to fulfill their desires, but at the same kind, they are controlled by their karma, which they have done before, which is also made by them. But it's like Just like we may have a desire to go in one airplane to Mauritius. And then we are in that plane. Then we are sitting in the airplane. Then next to us is one guy from Mauritius, and he is a very bad person. So then we think, okay, actually I don't want to go to this place. But now we are sitting in the airplane. So now we have to go there. And then when we are there, then we can make new decisions to maybe get out of there again. But so in this way, everything is like the combination from our present desires, which we want to act upon, and our previous desires, which has formed our previous karma, like that. Thus the mind is the source of different kinds of bodies. Do you have any question until here? Nothing? The mind is purified. If the mind is purified by Krishna consciousness, one will naturally in the future get a body that is spiritual and full of Krishna consciousness. Such a body is our original form, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms. Jivara Svarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. Actually, the soul is by nature Krishna's servant. We have a beautiful form and we belong in Krishna's world, in the spiritual world. So this is actually the wrong place here. That's why we cannot become happy. But how to get there? And this is actually very logical, because as our present character and condition will determine our next body. In the same way, if our mind becomes Krishna conscious, it means if we realize our real identity, our spiritual identity, then we can go to our spiritual home, back to our spiritual home. Yang vapi svaram bhavam tat tat chanti kalevaram. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever we remember at the time of death, that state of consciousness we will attain in our next life, for certain. So whatever our mental constitution is, that will determine our next body. So if we give up our false identification and we learn how to think of our spiritual identity and think of Krishna, then we will be carried to the spiritual world after this life. This is a very scientific process. Actually, it's the greatest science. This is, you cannot artificially think, okay, I will do my whole life, I will do some kind of nonsense. But then at the time of death, I will remember Krishna. That doesn't work. Especially if you are in emergency, if you are in great distress, you cannot, you don't have any power to control your mind. The mind will automatically bring out the most deep-rooted impressions, samskaras. We call it in Sanskrit, impression is called samskara. It's like pictures which are imprinted like that. Yes. Well, yeah. Impressions from childhood are usually quite deep. But whatever we are most attached to at the time of our death or emergency or whatever, we'll remember that thing. This is whatever is most dear to us, that is the most powerful in our life. We will remember that. So it is not easy to remember Krishna at the time of death. Only if Krishna is our most dear and we are loving Krishna more than anything else, then we will remember Krishna at the time of death. So this, yes, It is a scientific process. Therefore, Krishna consciousness actually is very deep and scientific. Yeah, it is not. You cannot just sit down, meditate a little, close your eyes, and think of a flower, and think, "Yes, I'm liberated." It's also not enough just to say, "Now I'm Christian. Jesus will save me. I'm going to heaven." It is not by just saying something. Nothing will happen. Yeah? It is a very deep scientific process how to change our samskaras in our mind. Yeah?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because this gave me a sight of the two vehicles, the soul, then the mind. Then when you react, you're using your physical body to react to the mind, while your soul is observing all of this. But that only makes sense to me right now. And this is my question. If you sit in the exactly meditation without doing anything at all, right now I'm talking, then I'm using my physical body. So I'm bringing my soul inside my physical body to make a movement in this physical way that I'm experiencing, to communicate. So why do that at all? When we're talking about Krishna, we are moving away from the soul to the physical body.
You're not, what? If you talk about Krishna, at that time you are not going towards matter. It may seem like you are using a material body, but the fact is, if anything is used in God's service, then it becomes spiritual. That is the thing, just like the holy name, Krishna's name. Yeah? And it's normally the tongue is uttering a material sound. But if the tongue is chanting Hare Krishna, then the sound is not a material. It is a spiritual sound, because it is Krishna directly is manifesting within the sound. Understand? And Krishna himself, who is completely spiritual, he can manifest everywhere. He can also manifest in material elements, and he does. He descends in the form of the holy name. It's not that I can chant a spiritual holy name. I'm simply trying to serve Krishna by the use of this tongue. And then Krishna, he appears in the form of sound. That sound can be heard with the external ear also, but that sound is not material. Like last time we had this topic, the 4 different levels of existence. Yeah, one may only experience the external level by the external senses. But really, if Krishna comes in the form of the holy name, he comes on the complete spiritual level. He also manifests externally in the form of sound, which can be perceived. But this is only like an external vehicle, really. The Krishna is manifesting on the level of the soul. So it means if we are serving Krishna by speaking, by serving, by cleaning his temple or doing anything, we directly connect with the soul. Direct with the spiritual reality we're connecting. And in this way, by serving Krishna, we will not be bound to matter, but instead we will be delivered from matter. This is yagyatat kamanonata loko yang kama bandhana tad atam kama kauntaya mukta sangha samadha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, whatever is done, whatever is not done is yagya. Yagya means sacrifice for God. We're doing something. Now we don't have any experience of the soul. Our soul is still in a covered form, a seed form. So now we only have the body and the mind for serving God, for serving Krishna. Yes. So voluntarily giving up some of our own enjoyment to use this body or our mind or words or whatever to serve God, then this is called yajna or sacrifice. Yeah. To sacrifice is a completely different thing than to acting for one's own enjoyment. It's actually completely opposite. Yeah. It depends what kind of meditation. I'm coming to that. So sacrifice means voluntarily giving up my own enjoyment to do something for God. And no sacrifice means I just do what I want for myself. So the quality of these two activities is completely different. Yeah. Even though they are both seemingly material. Yeah. So Krishna says, Yagyatat kamononata lokoyam kama bandhana. If you do something not as yagya, not as sacrifice for God, then you will be bound to this world. And then you will make karma. But if tadatam karma kaunteya, if you do your karma, means your material activities, seemingly material activities for Krishna, for God, then instead you will become free from all karma. Mukta sangha samata, you will become delivered from this material existence. Yeah. So this is the unique aspect of Krishna consciousness, that you, by using these material assets which we have, we can actually come to the spiritual platform. On the other hand, if I'm saying I'm not using my physical body, I'm only using my mental body to meditate. But I'm not meditating on God. I'm meditating on some light or on some material object or whatever. Then still I'm completely on the material platform. Because the mind, intelligence, ego is all completely material. Yeah. So, and in this way, I will not become free from material things, and instead I will only prolong my material existence because I'm still absorbed in matter. Yeah. So therefore, actually, the best process to become free from the attachment is actually by serving God. By God's mercy, our activities can become spiritual. By our own endeavor, our activities can never become spiritual. It is impossible. Yeah. So Krishna, by His mercy, He will make our activities spiritual. Does this answer the question? Somewhat.
I want to define what I meant by meditation.
Yeah.
Is not imagining,
Yeah.
which is using the mind also. It's just observing and not reacting at all. So
But observing what?
whatever there is. So there are thoughts in our minds from past lives or whatever, which if we react to, create something in this physical form and universe.
Yeah.
But what if we don't react at all?
You cannot. You have to do something.
Yes. In that sense only the people who do Mahasamadhi.
The samadhi actually means to be absorbed in God. This is the real meaning of samadhi. Otherwise, just trying to make your mind empty, actually this does not automatically imply anything spiritual. Because you cannot be free from matter in this world. Just observing, what are you observing? It is like, I may observe my mind, what is going on in my mind. Okay, it's like watching TV. I'm observing my mind coming so many remembrances from my youth, from my past relationships. I can observe that, but that means I'm still watching TV of material things, like that. And trying to make the mind empty is actually impossible. Neither can you make your mind completely empty, because it is unnatural. There is nothing like emptiness. Everything is something. And second of all, we can also not do nothing, because we have to eat, we have to breathe, we have to work, we have to go to toilet, and all these things. They are material activities which automatically imply that we are engaged in this world. So by this you can actually not come on the spiritual platform. Only ways to come on the spiritual platform is by connecting with God, actually. I'm not saying that besides Krishna consciousness, no one is able to be on the transcendental platform. But if they want to be on the transcendental platform, they must be connected with God somehow. Somehow there may be persons who they want to be impersonalist. They want to be absorbed in this impersonal Brahman. But to come to this level of Brahman, they have to chant mantras, they have to do yagya, means sacrifices, they have to do any kind of worship, things like that. So even though they are not consciously serving God, but indirectly they are connecting with God. And by God's mercy they may get some realization. But without connecting with the spiritual substance, Vastu, it is impossible to come on the spiritual platform actually. Like that. Yeah.
I also realized something very interesting for myself by talking to you, that there's a different quality if I do meditation for this ego piece. I do it for my own well-being. It's different than doing it to serve Krishna.
Yeah. Yes. If you chant Hare Krishna, this is service to Krishna. We're not doing this primarily so that we feel good or something like that. That actually this chanting Hare Krishna is service to God. It's called Kirtanam. It's one of the kinds of service to God. And by serving God, we're getting His mercy. And in this way our soul actually will be awakened. Yes, it's very much different than when I only do it for myself. Yes, we can try to make the mind. We can go in the shower and take a shower. After that, we are clean. In the same way, we can try to clean our mind. Sit down and try to throw out all the dirt which has accumulated in the mind. Yeah. But this kind of cleaning, it is compared with the bathing of an elephant. An elephant, he will go to the river, take very nice bath. But as soon as he comes out of the river, he will roll in the mud. Means he makes himself dirty again, immediately. So in the same way, we may try to clean our mind or our body, but it's the nature of material things that it will become contaminated again, like that. So these things, they are going on, but this will not has nothing to do with spiritual realization, actually. Spiritual realization means connecting with God. God is on the spiritual platform. Our mind, ego, anything is on the material platform. Like that. So if the mind is purified by Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, one will naturally in the future get a body that is spiritual and full of Krishna consciousness. Yes. Such a body is our original form. Yeah. So if we are engaged in devotional service to the Lord, this is to be considered a liberated soul even in this life. If we serve God, we can already in this life, we can become delivered. Means we can become free from all karma. We are not anymore under the control of this material nature, but we are only under the control of Krishna directly. It is possible if we are completely engaged in Krishna's service 24 hours a day, then we will be under the control of the spiritual energy, God's energy. Not material energy cannot touch us anymore. Rupa Goswami confirms this. Ihayasya haryadasye kamana manasa girani kilas vapyavastasu jivan mukta sauchate. One who is engaged in transcendentally serving the Lord with body, minds and words, he is liberated in all conditions of mature existence. Yes. So Krishna consciousness movement is based on this principle. We must teach people to absorb themselves always in the service of the Lord, because this is our natural position. If we are always serving the Lord, then we are considered already liberated. Also Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. Mam chavyo pyapitarena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhujaya kalpate. One who always engages in spiritual activities means pure devotional service. Serving pure devotional service means serving God without any personal motive, only to make Krishna happy. So that is not easy. Normally people, they serve God because they want many things, especially material. Either enjoyment or liberation, something like that. But if we serve Krishna purely, then we will be on the spiritual platform. And Krishna says, someone who serves me purely, immediately he will transcend the mode of material nature and he will be elevated onto the spiritual platform. So therefore, devotee, he is above these three gunas. Gunas, sattva, raja, tamas. And is even transcendental to the Brahmana platform. A Brahmana means someone who is in goodness, who lives a pure life. But he may also be affected by the other gunas, by Rajagun and Tamagun, because it's the nature of this world that these gunas, they always change. I may live a very pure life, doesn't mean just like you may try to be a nice guy, but then someone may agitate you, then you will become very angry. Possible? You get sometimes angry? Really? Hard to imagine. No? Very peaceful person. And Nadine, you get angry sometimes? You get angry sometimes? I can imagine. So this means this is a nature of material things, because it's all in the material platform. Even you may be very pure, peaceful person, these things may happen, but the devotee never is not affected by these material modes. He's with Krishna, he never gets angry. He may get angry, but not because he is disturbed internally. He may get angry for Krishna. So his anger is not on the same platform. This anger is not poisoning him. This anger is only beneficial if he displays this kind of anger. Holy anger, yes. Okay, so therefore devotee always is on the liberated platform. Tell me again your name. Nardin? Nardin, huh? Okay, Nardin. Okay, I got it right. Yeah. Hearing one time, he could remember all names. Okay, so any more questions? No. So we stop here. Grantarat Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vanchakalpadopyasam Kipasantu Bhavacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo
Bhagavatam